We will talk about loads of factors on this video, along with Bitcoin and its prospects. The subsequent charge range for Bitcoin is anticipated to be among $120,000 and $170,000. Brad Garlinghouse may be speaking to us. We'll look into BlackRock's maximum current Bitcoin ETF investments. Have you observed BlackRock's latest huge funding in these markets? The institutions seem to be beginning to pay attention. Without similarly ado, permits dive into Bitcoin 72,000 as you unwind. $257 has gained 5% in price throughout the past day. Although it is currently down 1.3.5%, theoretically I am coming at 2,636.31. At the moment, XRP is handiest trading at 51 cents, whereas USDT and USDC are each trading at 99. I'm preserving a cautious eye on the $183 slot, since it should suggest a breakout up to the $200 or approximately $25 still. We may additionally see a retracement return to $150 if we are not able to break out of that $183 mark. Solana, keep in mind that to me $1,000 is coming in if it doesn't maintain all the mana backpedal to $130. About Solana, what did we recently discover? Where's the small tweet then? In the Canary capital I turned into pulled up. Yes, an XRP ETF changed into found within the equal Canadian capital. They lately observed a Solana ETF. I shared my 2025 forecast with you. They're sincerely smooth. A concept will fall out of the top 5 at the same time as Bitcoin, Solana, and XRP will compete for 2 and 3. In 2025, an XRP and Solana ETF will be added. Those are the next gadgets at the bucket listing to be finished, bringing the full variety of ETFs available to 4. Bitcoin began to upward push past the $71,000 mark for the first time. On the hourly chart of the BTC to USD pair taken from the Kraken's trade, a key bullish fashion line is forming with support at $69, 500 on a 100-hour easy transferring average. The price is currently buying and selling above $71, 500. The pair is consolidating its profits, and it is able to wreck through the barrier degree of $73, 500. Even whilst they may be coming in at $73,500, I preserve telling you $74 K. Folks, that is the correct number you need to be looking. These are the signs and symptoms that it's time to move, and Brad Garlinghouse also mentions a black swan occurrence right here. A black swan occasion may make the US the global hub for blockchain era. We recognize precisely how this takes place, so it's quite easy. The United States will lead and dominate the cryptocurrency marketplace if Trump wins the election inside the following few days. Pay attention to Brad. We have a fascinating manifestation for the final slide that we are able to show. Well, if you look at the left aspect of this chart, you could see how many internet organizations are based and valued in the United States. The proper facet that's truly within the cryptocurrency area is rather unsurprising. As you and I have discussed, the 1996 Telecommunications Act set up regulatory readability inside the early days of the net, which has allowed investors and entrepreneurs to thrive inside the cryptocurrency space. This hasn't occurred in the US yet, however, possibly it's going to rapidly. No count number who wins the election, it will alternate its appearance. So I'm optimistic and agree that it could. Because Brad favors one aspect and Chris supports the other, Ripple will win. At the cease of the day, Ripple will appear to have won because they performed a definitely clever game, and BlackRock by myself is greater than $875 million, really worth of Bitcoin within the remaining 24 hours. The Micro Method agency is owned by Michael Stadler on the brink of raise $42 billion to buy extra Bitcoin soon. What signal is it? The answer is simple. The charge of Bitcoin will skyrocket. As I noted within the first video today, until Bitcoin has its amusing, we promised you that the season could now not begin. Although it hasn't arrived at the birthday party yet, Bitcoin is simply getting warmed up and heading there. Simply pay. All you need to do is cognizance on Bitcoin. Ignore everything else. Pay interest to Bitcoin. Until Bitcoin does its element, nothing else will move. It's that smooth. Humans and we apprehend the spot. Bitcoin ETFs have visible large inflows during the last 13 days, in keeping with the Bloomberg analyst. Bitcoin is a store of wealth and virtual gold. When you look at the inflows you have observed, do you notice any oddities within the way the costs have moved in tandem with these flows? Since they began, it's a rather extensive sum. Yes, these items have raised a variety of cash. They commenced in early January and raised a whole lot of money in March and April. They raised loads of cash across the time of their launch, however, the previous 13 days were truly excessive. We're at approximately $4.7, $4.8 billion, which are available in simply over the past 13 trading days. So I think some of this is momentum chasing. Of path as expenses rise, a number of this has to do with Trump's chances of prevailing. After all, inflows have been in for 12 of the ultimate 13 days, and the whole inflows are simply under $5 billion. I accept as true with that human beings consider that Bitcoin will advantage from a Trump victory. I'm no longer certain what's causing it. However, there may be, without a doubt, a variety of call for those ETFs. How does this relate to other traits within the cryptocurrency space? Because the difference among Ethereum and Bitcoin has been pretty tremendous. Is it because the Trump exchange consists of Bitcoin by myself? Although you have a valid point, interest in Ethereum ETFs as an entire is honestly now not as excessive. You mentioned around 23 billion since those items have been introduced in January. In any case, since Ethereum ETFs have been added in July, there hasn't been any demand for them as seen by means of their $500 million net outflow. There are many I could spend an entire section explaining why I agree with that. But a part of it clearly has to do with the truth that the theory is a little extra complicated, making it tons less difficult for people to understand Bitcoin. It's simply virtual gold, virtual safe cost. It's a bet towards Forex debasement, all of these various things. And then you examine Ethereum, and is it you understand a tokenization platform, a digital app platform, who is aware of there's an entire bunch of ways you may describe it. And it's simply, I suppose traders simply are not geared up and absolutely equipped to understand what's occurring there. And Bitcoin is as considered one of one as a ways as maximum human beings are involved. Already at 72 billion in assets, so there is without a doubt more room to run, I imply, whilst you speak to most humans in our world proper, if you speak to most humans within the TradFi global channel. They're very skeptical of cryptocurrencies. Numerous human beings actually nonetheless do now not take Bitcoin critically. I mean, heck, maximum of our colleagues and co-workers do not take this vicinity significantly, so there is nevertheless lots of space for this to run. If that many human beings simply assume still lots of area for this to run, folks, that is proper. There's plenty of room. There's a 3x watching for Bitcoin, after which all that money, all that institutional cash goes to rotate out and start to pump all points. Its miles going to be aspect of splendor. It'll be something like you have got by no means visible earlier than. I'm approximately to enter my 1/3 bull cycle. I'm keen. I only hope. Keith jogged my memory of this last night time. When I changed into pronouncing, I desire I ought to just near my eyes and wake up in 6 months and feature freaking lots of cash. The exciting component is this: we are on the point of excitement, and that is wherein the laugh starts off evolved. I'm eager, I am aware, which you also are impatient. According to Andreas L, there can be a few initial hobby and ripple following the UX elections. Chris Bummer may take the vicinity of Gary Genslev. Talk about Gisler's feasible alternative has given rise to two interesting alternatives. Chris Brenner and Ariska Williams posed the query, who will take over now that Gisler is out? Chris Brummer recalls speaking about important financial institution, digital foreign money, and selling virtual adoption at Ripple Swells 2020. What's your guru? Human beings. Solana ATL, we have already discussed it. The fifth wave of Bitcoin is already growing, and Egrid crypto has seen fee increases of between 120 and 170. My objectives are regarded to you. My goals are essentially zeroed in and locked in. I'm organized. My conservative estimate for Bitcoin this cycle is among 150 and 170. Most possibly those numbers will seem in 2025, probably in QQ1 or past QQ1, just earlier than tax season begins. If now not, the parabolic mild will appear at the top around summertime. Keep in mind that this year is only the start of the bull run. It does not quit this year. This goes all of the way into the prevailing. The parabolic blow-off tops might be pushed out of the goals for Q2 and Q3 40. We can also postpone that. We can re-get right of entry to get you some